Good morning, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. It's a real pleasure for me to be here with you today, even if it is only virtually. And it's a real pleasure for me to open, I think, this EIP-AGRI seminar, Turning Forest Innovation into Practice. I'm very glad to see that the event brought together such a great mix of audience. I can see we are now 140 persons, including foresters, farmers working on forest aspects linked to forestry, I think vocational education and training organizations, advisors, researchers, policymakers, and others. So it's great, I think, to see, all of you today. With this seminar, we are officially launching the first work program of the European Innovation Partnership on Sustainable Agriculture, the well-known EIP-AGRI for the period 2021-2027. And together with the colleagues from the Support Facility for Innovation and Knowledge Exchange, we will continue our joint action towards closing the gap between research and practice and speeding up, I think, the deployment of innovation on the ground, I think, which are so badly needed in this period of transition. As you know, we are not starting from scratch. I think the EIP-AGRI achievement from the past 7 years give us a lot of base and a lot of optimism, I think, to build upon. Since 2014, I think, as a reminder, over 2,000 operational groups have been established, and many of them will see the light, I think, of the day until the closure of the program. These operational group projects are key for building an active, thriving innovation ecosystem. On the research side, around 200 Horizon 2020 multi-actor projects were financed up until now, feeding into the EU repository of knowledge, what I would call, ready for practice. And last but not least, the European level networking activity mobilized more than 6,400 experts in more than 100 networking events to exchange about innovation, farming, and forestry practices, needs for further action, research opportunities, and fostering capacity building. So we are very happy that this EIP-AGRI will be enhanced in the future CAP to be implemented from the beginning of 2023. And we are looking forward to building on these successes to support sustainable forest management, which in the new programming period should be even easier with further cooperation between with these operational groups, with cross-border exchanges and simplified aired rules. But it's not a coincidence that we start the new EIP-AGRI work program with a seminar on forest innovation. As you know, and as you may have read, I think, in the press, forests are currently very high on the political, on the policy, and on the research agenda of the EU, and we want the EIP-AGRI to contribute to the activities that are being undertaken in Europe to protect and to develop, I think, the forestry sector. Of course, we cannot talk about forestry and forest without mentioning the new EU forest strategy, which has been adopted on the 16th of July of this year, so a few months ago, and this new strategy for 2030. This new EU forest strategy is a flagship initiative of the European Green Deal. It provides a framework for the forest, I think, to deliver on our environmental and climate ambition, but also for the forest to secure livelihoods in rural areas and support a sustainable forest bioeconomy. This new forest strategy has been developed in parallel, and I would say in very close links with other important policy files, namely, I think, the Fit for 55 package, which has been announced also last July, and that aims, I think, at enhancing our climate ambition for 2050 already by 2030, but also which have been developed, I think, with close links, I think, to other policy initiatives related to energy, of course, to climate, but also to environment policies. This new forest strategy contains significant commitments to combat climate change, to reverse the biodiversity loss, and to enhance, I think, forest resilience in order to ensure the persistence of forest and its multifunctionality over the longer term. And these commitments include, for instance, I think, the pledge to plant more than 3 billion additional trees up to 2030. But this is not all. I think while great emphasis is made on the need to protect and restore forest, the forest strategy also aims to contribute, I think, to the new and to the greener growth model of the Green Deal and support, I think, the social and economic roles of forest, in particular for securing decent livelihood in rural areas and for forest owners, workers, and managers. And so the strategy aims at allowing a continued and comprehensive supply of sustainable products and services to our society for the benefit, I think, of the area where the forest stands. And in this context, in this endeavor, sustainable forest management is the key concept of the new forest strategy. It is, in our view, the best way to ensure forest multifunctionality and the fair contribution to the global sustainability agenda and its sustainable development goals. And the strategy, the strategy up to 2030 proposes ways and actions to promote sustainable forest management, to maximize and demonstrate its benefits for all the dimensions of sustainability, economic, environmental, and social. And enhanced monitoring possibilities will also help to better face new and growing threats, such as climate change, such as extreme events, pests, and diseases. If we look at the economic side, I think forest and the forest-based sector provide many socio-economic functions and benefits, including job and growth opportunities in rural areas. And the strategy promotes a strong forest bioeconomy by addressing the sustainable supply of wood, the increase in the investment and in innovation all along, I think, the whole food processing chain, the whole wood, processing chain. And the new strategy places substantial emphasis on certain products that, in our view, can contribute to a climate neutral economy, such as the long-lived wood products, and in particular in the construction sector. It also supports other uses of wood resources while ensuring that these uses stay within, I think, the sustainability boundaries. So while wood, of course, is and will remain, I think, the most important source of income from the forest, the strategy also aims at diversifying local economies and job opportunity. And this, in our view, should be done through the promotion of non-wood forest products and services that can provide valuable contribution to the income of rural areas, I think, for forest owners and forest managers. And in this context, I think new schemes will be promoted in the next few years for supporting forest management practices that enhance the provision of certain ecosystem services, including through the facilitation of financial flow through private or public schemes. And moreover, I think the strategy highlights, I think, the role of carbon farming that this carbon farming could play in the future in rewarding foresters for protecting and enhancing further carbon sink in the forest. And in this respect, I think the Commission is going to come forward within the next few weeks with a new communication on farm on carbon in order to promote, I think, this new possibility and this new opportunity, I think, for the forest sector and for the farming sector. So let's now turn to the three, in our view, the three key enabling factors, I think, for the future strategy, namely the CAP, research and innovation, which is extremely important, and this is one of the reasons why we are here today, and also the stakeholders' involvement. With the new forest strategy, the Commission wants to ensure an adequate, injections of EU funds to forest and the forest-based sector. And the Common Agricultural Policy, I think the CAP, has traditionally been, I think, the main source of financial support to forests in the EU, and the Commission aims to increase the uptake of rural development funds for the purposes of the new forest strategy. As you know, with the new CAP, member states will have much wider flexibility and capacity to design forest-related intervention according to the needs and according to the specificity, and this in a much simpler manner than exists currently. In addition, we, the Commission, are closely supporting the inclusion of forest-related intervention in the CAP strategic plan, which are the translation, the reflection of the CAP at EU level for the national condition. And we will continue to assess the uptake of EU funds, in particular in the second pillar, in order to promote them including through recommendation, assessment, advisory services, compilation of good practices, and promotion of innovation deployment and exchange of expertise across member states. On research and innovation, we do believe that research and innovation, deserve particular attention and key enablers to achieve these ambition objectives, I think, of the strategy. And the European Commission, through Horizon Europe, will mobilize targeted investment to strengthen the multifunctional role of European forest and their sustainable management. And one of the key research and innovation priorities, we aim to secure ecological and socio-economic function of our forest under changing climate conditions by enhancing the knowledge on climate change impact and adaptive forest management. So development and I would say the deployment of new technologies will be supported to increase the productivity and the sustainability of forest-based value chains. So development of innovative business models, including, for instance, local bioeconomy value chains or linked to the valuation of ecosystem services, in our view, represent an opportunity for reviving rural areas, creating more innovative jobs on primary production, and for developing rural development and sustainable growth. And the strategy also considers ways to accelerate the uptake of innovation by the forest managers and by forest owners to promote knowledge exchange, cooperation, education, training, etc., including, and this is one of the purposes of this seminar, by strengthening the role of forestry in the EIP-AGRI. Regarding, I think, stakeholders, I think we do believe that for the success of this strategy, a full involvement of stakeholders is very important. And in this context, the Commission will greatly rely on and seek the active engagement of all relevant actors and level of governance, from member states to forest owners, managers, forest-based industries, scientists, civil society, etc. And for this, the Commission will reshape the EU forest governance bodies to ensure that this engagement is fully effective. And the Commission will in particular seek and build on the engagement, motivation, and dedication of the practitioners on the ground, the forest owners and the forest managers. So in this respect, and this will be my last words, I am confident that this event will make a difference for our foresters and other concerned land managers in the EU. And I'm really looking forward, I think, to hearing about, I think, some of the innovative practices and technologies today. I am sure that many of you will take home, I think, some new ideas and some new knowledge to apply and make a difference, I think, for our forest that we so badly need. So thank you very much for your attention, and I wish you a very fruitful 2 days, I think, for this seminar. Thank you very much.